It was supposed to be a peaceful weekend at the ranch. A quiet dinner, some music, and a few old friends visiting from out of town. But of course, peace and quiet don't last long when you live next door to an HOA run by a woman named Karen. Now, this wasn't your average dinner party. My guests that evening were actual ambassadors, people I'd met years ago during my work in international development. There was Ambassador Collins from the UK, Ambassador Rafiq from Jordan, and a few others. A small, respectable group dressed sharp, polite, and more than capable of handling themselves diplomatically. The moment they arrived, the ranch lit up with activity. My staff had set tables on the lawn, string lights twinkled between oak trees, and a jazz trio played softly by the fire pit. The air smelled like smoked brisket and cedarwood. Then, across the fence, I saw her, HOA Karen 2.0, binoculars in hand. Her mouth twisted like she'd just seen someone parking a spaceship on her lawn. She stormed over, wearing her floral robe and slippers, waving her phone. "Excuse me," she barked through the gate. "This gathering is violating community event restrictions." I blinked. "Karen, this is my ranch. It's not even part of your HOA." She huffed. "There are foreigners here. That's suspicious activity, and I'm calling 911. I laughed, thinking she was bluffing. Nope. 5 minutes later, I heard sirens. Now imagine this. 4 sheriff cruisers roll up, lights flashing, while my guests, wearing tuxedos, sip wine and watch like it's a comedy show. The lead officer steps out, adjusting his hat. "Evenin', sir. Got a call about an unauthorized international gathering." Ambassador Rafiq nearly choked on his drink. "Unauthorized what?" I handed the officer my ID. "Sheriff, these are ambassadors visiting from multiple nations. Karen over there thinks it's a criminal summit." The sheriff looked over his shoulder and sighed. "Oh Lord, not her again." Karen marched up, pointing a shaking finger. "They're plotting something. I heard different languages. Probably hacking our Wi-Fi." Ambassador Collins stood, utterly composed. "Madam, we're discussing agricultural water systems and rural diplomacy. Hardly espionage." The sheriff couldn't help but chuckle. "Ma'am, do you realize you just called 911 on foreign diplomats? This is a federal-level embarrassment waiting to happen." Karen froze. "Diplomats?" "Yep," I said, smiling. "You just accused half the consular circle of being cybercriminals." The sheriff had to file a report, but he did it while trying not to laugh. He took statements, shook hands with the ambassadors, and apologized on behalf of the county. Karen stood there, face redder than a chili pepper, mumbling about security concerns. And then it got worse for her. A few days later, the incident hit the local news. The headline read, "Local HOA president calls police on visiting ambassadors, claims international conspiracy at ranch." The HOA board panicked. Sponsors dropped, homeowners demanded her resignation, and the community held an emergency meeting. She tried to defend herself, saying she was protecting neighborhood integrity. The board voted her out that night. As for me, the ambassadors thought the whole thing was hilarious. They sent me framed photos of the crime scene, them laughing with the sheriff, Karen's shocked face in the background, with a note that read, "Diplomatic relations. 1. HOA drama. 0. The next month, I hosted another dinner. Same spot, same twinkling lights, but this time, I added a custom wooden sign by the gate. International Diplomatic Zone. Trespassers will be embarrassed publicly. Even the sheriff drops by sometimes just to enjoy the food and to make sure no more international conspiracies are brewing in the backyard. Would you like me to continue with 3465, where Karen throws a wild party after cutting your fence, not realizing it opens right into the pen of your trained bulls?